Starting in 2002, Marvel Comics began publishing a series of reference books under the banner of the Marvel Encyclopedia.
Now, reference material is nothing new to Marvel. For years they would publish a series called The Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe, or OHATMU for short.
Now, the first Marvel Encyclopedia volume basically works as a general encyclopedia. Several heroes are placed into several different categorical sections, and their backstories are given.
There are sections devoted to the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Marvel Knights and Max lines, Spider-Man, X-Men, the Ultimate Marvel line, and Marvel's Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty was a comic book series created in the wake of the September 11th attacks, and it focused on a trio of first responders. Now, it did gain a lot of mainstream news attention because of the connections to 9/11, but it didn't exactly set the sales charts on fire, and today the Call of Duty remains largely forgotten.
Now, with the exception of the Call of Duty, each section covers the major players for their categories, both hero and villain. Though the definition of major is a little loose.
Take, for example, Iron Man's villains. Now, Old Shellhead doesn't exactly have the most lauded rogues gallery in comics, but his most prominent villain, the Mandarin, isn't actually in this encyclopedia. Instead, we have the Mandarin's son, Temujin. And the only other Iron Man villain to get any sort of mention in this is the Sentient Armor, which I think was only sentient for like one storyline.
Volume 2 of the Marvel Encyclopedia is focused on the X-Men and basically plays out like an expanded version of their section from Volume 1, with one unique exception.
This encyclopedia has absolutely no entry for Deadpool, which is odd given the fact that as of this recording, he has the biggest movie in the country right now.
The encyclopedias begin to change with Volume 3, which focuses on the Incredible Hulk. Instead of just character listing, we get an exploration into the development of the Hulk, followed by a look into the Hulk's popularity and the resulting merchandising along with the television adaptations. We then get a very, very abbreviated villains gallery.
Now, the reason for the muted Rogues Gallery entry is because, well, the Hulk's Rogues Gallery is not that spectacular. Heck, this thing actually contains a definition for the Rhino, and I've always thought of him as more of a Spider-Man villain.
Anyways, the volume ends with a look at the upcoming Hulk movie by Ang Lee. Volume 4, which focuses on Spider-Man, works as a combination of the previous volumes. You get the behind-the-scenes information like you had in Volume 3, and you get the massive character gallery like Volumes 1 and 2.
Now, Volume 5 of the Marvel Encyclopedia covers the Marvel Knights line, and it plays out very much like Volume 4 on Spider-Man, except they don't focus as much on merchandising here, probably because there isn't a lot of merchandising with these characters. Instead, they focus more on the movies, namely the Blade franchise, the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, the upcoming Thomas Jane Punisher movie, and the still in pre-production Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie.
Volume 6, which covers the Fantastic Four, provides much of the same thing, with a return to the focus on merchandise based on Marvel's famous First Family.
And that's the last entry I have for the Marvel Encyclopedias. Would I recommend them? Not really, no. I mean, look, the most recent of these things came out in 2005, so yeah, they're woefully out of date. Not to mention, these things are out of print, and they originally retailed for about $25 to $35 each. On top of that, I don't know how much you'd be paying if you had to go barreling through eBay for this sort of thing. Not to mention, there's plenty of free sources you could get for reference material on Marvel Comics. And no, I don't just mean Wikipedia. There's the Marvel Directory, there's SpiderFan.org, the Spider-Man Crawl Space. Marvel's website itself actually has some great history on it. So, yeah. Look, I can't say I completely hate these books. They're very well done for what they are. But in terms of relevance to the Marvel Universe today, yeah, they're pretty much pointless. That's why I have to give Marvel Encyclopedias, volumes 1 through 6, a D. And with that, let's see what we'll be doing next time on the Random Trade Review.